Hello everyone, welcome to today's news starter. Let's begin with a prelims practice question. Right. So take a look at this question. Consider the following statements regarding Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. Any global framework, any global trade related bodies in which India is there, or if it is related to India, you have to study about it, you have to know about it very well. So Indo-Pacific Economic Framework is a framework which was started by the United States of America, which includes important countries such as India, Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, etc. Most of the South Asian countries. So what is this Indo-Pacific Economic Framework is something which you should study for this examination in 2024. It will be important. Two statements are provided and they have asked which among the above is correct. IPEF is not a free trade agreement. Yes, it is not a free trade agreement. It is just an economic framework. That's all. For cooperation in certain economy related things. That's it. It is not a complete free trade agreement. So this is correct. India agreed to 3 out of 4 pillars of Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. This statement is also correct. India agreed only to 3 out of 4 economic pillars. There are 4 pillars of economics. There is one specific pillar which talks about trade, fair trade. So India had some differences with the United States in it, so it did not go for that pillar. So the answer to this is both 1 and 2. Section 123 of the Representation of People Act 1951. 123 is very important because it talks about the disqualification of candidates who are contesting in elections. It defines the corrupt practices. For mains examination, this topic is very important because there is a specific topic which is Representation of People Act in paper 2, GS2. So this defines corrupt practices. What exactly is a corrupt practice? Corruption, in our opinion, is a very wide term, but in Representation of People Act, it is mentioned in specific way. So this becomes important. Bribery, bribing someone by giving money or material or anything is corruption. Using undue influence, false information, promotion or attempted promotion of feelings of enmity or hatred between different people based on certain things, religion, race, caste, community, or language. So if you look here, gender is not provided. Gender is something which is not provided here. So they have included only religion, race, caste, community, or language. They might have thought that there is no way someone can use gender to collect vote because women as a whole tend to vote together. So there is very less opportunity for someone to do such a thing. But it would have been good if they have included gender also. Anyways, we need to remember only these things: religion, race, caste, community, and language. An elected representative, once after he gets elected, even after he gets elected, he can be disqualified if he has been convicted of certain offenses. What are the offenses? Engaging in corruption, if he does not declare his election expenses, or if he is involved in any government work or government contracts, etc. So these three are the reasons mentioned in Representation of People Act for disqualification. Apart from this, in Constitution, other things are also mentioned. If he has acquired the citizenship of some other country, etc. So that is a different thing. In Representation of People Act, they have mentioned if someone is engaged in corrupt practices, if someone is engaged in some government contract, etc., and if he is not giving out his election expenses, then he will be disqualified. Two important cases related to the Representation of People Act. One is Abhiram Singh versus C.D. Komachan. In C.D. Komachan case, what happened is the Supreme Court told that an election will be annulled completely if votes are sought in the name of candidates, religion, race, caste, community, or language. If someone is asking votes with these factors, then the election will be annulled. One another important case, Subramaniam Balaji versus State of Tamil Nadu. Providing freebies during election was a very big issue earlier. People used to, especially in the state of Tamil Nadu and some other southern states, they used to provide free machines, free grinder, free mixer grinder, free TV, etc. So this was a very famous case, but unfortunately, the Supreme Court told that the promise of providing freebie cannot be considered as a correct practice because it is the duty of the government of the day to work upon improving the socio-economic and cultural factors of the people. So this cannot be considered. So these two cases are important. Recently, there was a case in which the Supreme Court told that even a candidate who is contesting an election has the right to privacy from the voters. That means he do not have to disclose each and every information about him. Only those information that are sought by the Election Commission of India can be disclosed. Other things, you disclose it or do not disclose it, that is up to the candidate. So this was told by the Supreme Court. They told that you don't have to even tell each and every property that is held by the candidate, only if it is of um, big value or something which is which can be considered as a sizable asset, then it has to be given out. And again, this point is very important. They told that this is not a blanket statement. It is applicable based on certain situations. So each and every situation, each and every candidate's condition must be different. So based on that situation, we will have to decide. This is what the Supreme Court told. In 2017, Allahabad High Court gave a ruling in which it told that if a candidate is declaring false information about his educational qualification, in such cases, we cannot consider it to be a corrupt practice. So it should have been considered, but however, due to certain loopholes in the law, the court told that it cannot be considered as a correct practice. So from examination point of view, try to remember it. What exactly is industrial alcohol? Industrial alcohol was in new, so we need to know about it. It's the same alcohol which people consume, but with some change in characteristic traits, chemical and physical trait. What they do is we need alcohol to be used as a raw material or to be used as an additive in several industries. For example, paint, emulsifier, varnishes, industrial solvent. Alcohol is a very good solvent. You add it, things will get solved very easily. It is used as a very good industrial solvent. So because of this, they need alcohol for industrial use also. But that should not be misused as a consumptive alcohol. So what they do is they add certain chemicals which they call as denaturing agents. What are the denaturing agents? Methanol, isopropanol, and various other bittering agents. Most important things are methanol and isopropanol. This is why if someone consumes industrial alcohol, they will die or they will get blind or their intestine will get ruined completely, their liver will get ruined completely because it has these chemicals, methanol and isopropanol, which is not consumptive in nature, and it will change the taste of the alcohol also. Here we have provided what are all the situations in which alcohol is used, industrial alcohol is used in inks, cleaning products, as biofuel, preservative, flavoring, for disinfecting the skin. Industrial alcohol is often denatured and it is made unpalatable and undrinkable. So these things we have discussed. Now the major problem is there was a case going on in the Supreme Court in which the Supreme Court asked why industrial alcohol is kept under the jurisdiction of central government only. So this is a point you need to know for the examination. Industrial alcohol, its control is completely under the central government. It is not under the control of the state government, even though public health is a state subject. So misuse of industrial alcohol will result in public health problem. So that should be under the state government or under the concurrent list. But however, center has kept all the control. So this is a question the Supreme Court has asked. We have no verdict about it yet, so we need to wait for it. However, at present, you need to know the basic informations only. One important point for mains examination, which you can use in your answers, we all know that we have studied this in several places, women are more vulnerable than men in the context of climate change. Why? Because most of the women live in rural and they are not engaged in formal work, and most of their works are related to agriculture. Agriculture is directly related to climate change, and physically too, it is very easy for a woman to get affected rather than a man. So according to United Nations Development Program, women and children are 14 times. This data is important, you can note it down, you can use it in your answer. Women and children are 14 times more likely to get affected by climate change. National Family Health Survey 4 and National Family Health Survey 5, both the data have shown that women living in drought-prone districts were more underweight, experienced more violence from the partner, and have higher prevalence of girl marriage. So these things show that women are mostly affected with climate change. One specific fact which was in news today, which you can note down so that in case they ask a question in prelims, you will be in a position to answer it. It is ALMM list. ALMM list is approved list of models and manufacturers of solar photovoltaic modules. Approved list of models and manufacturers of solar photovoltaic module. At present, India is heavily dependent on China and other South Asian countries to import the photovoltaic modules for solar energy generation. And we have told that by 2030, 500 gigawatt of non-renewable energy will be produced indigenously in India. If that has to be done with cheap cost, we need to manufacture solar photovoltaic panels. This is the reason we have come up with this list. So this list contains manufacturers who are eligible for government project or government assisted projects or projects under government scheme and program. So these people will be used for the schemes and programs that are related to solar photovoltaic cell by the government. So this is all you need to know from today's newspaper, which are most important. Other than this, give a glance to the newspaper and read it very well. All the best, study well. Let's meet tomorrow.